learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but the sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, where do I even start for today? It was absolutely crazy. There was Facebook after hours. They pretty much saved the market. Literally, this is the S&P after hours with all of the reports. I would say it goes beyond Facebook, but that was a big deal. We need to go over all of the plays, both the puts and calls, and what we did before. That's its own thing. Then there was Beyond Meat, like 500%, 1,000% in like 10 minutes, and then the news back and forth, and there's still some updates, but we got to talk about that. Then did I mention Facebook fake news today? Oh my gosh, all of that. It was exciting, and now the market is going up. We have Apple and Amazon tomorrow, and where we go from here can be absolutely huge, and then it leads us into Powell, and we have a strategy with it. We got to play a little defensive as far as the EWGs are concerned. Again, that was even on there, bro. Even the commodities, corn went crazy today. What was the other one? UNG, literally from yesterday. The gas ban and all of that, we got to talk about it, but today was crazy. Shout out to Chad. We have the classic. This is a classic. You guys can't get this one. If you do have it, man, God bless you. You're a real one, for real. If you have this sweater, I love you, baby. God bless you, for real. But shout out to Chad. It was a lot of fun if you were there. Hopefully, we see you there tomorrow for the earnings. Again, Apple and Amazon. But let's talk a little bit about today and where to start. So, just general market recap, what happened and what you really got here today. It was a nail biter, but it was like the first time we tested 415 more than once. We brought this up yesterday. Remember, here's the daily chart. We really haven't gone to 415, and this is a big level. I keep saying it. A close below 417 is going to lead us to 415. 415 goes straight to 410. That is the low of the year. So this is important, but we kind of like went a little bit there, bounced up. China was good today. Things weren't that bad. People are talking tensions easing, but the commodities went crazy. People digested the earnings. Boeing was absolutely awful, and that had an impact, and that one may come back again. That play hit too. It was crazy, but Boeing impacted it in the morning. I forgot the other earnings. It was Spotify, and then somebody else had an impact, but even after hours, though, there was some decent reaction. Pretty much tech was up, and then middle of the day here with Facebook, this is where things got weird. It kind of killed the momentum for most of the day. Pretty much it was just, it started right with this news. It started with Bloomberg. They had a Bloomberg automation error, and it came through next to some like other lawsuit news, but it paired it up as news, and they came out with a guidance number on Facebook that was like way off, and it was literally the guidance from last quarter. The algo started responding. It's funny because I think we learned about really what the algo, they're getting it straight from there, man, because that was direct, and then people started circulating it. It lasted for a little bit. Facebook started dropping. It was getting crazy, but at the end of the day here, it bounced up. It ended up being false, and now Facebook, why their earnings did good, if you don't know, and this is now going to be some of the story for tomorrow, and maybe we'll hear this with a couple of other stocks. Again, what I am talking about with a massive rally, if Apple and Amazon do good tomorrow, and what we got from Facebook, I mean, that's going to lead us good into the Fed. That's the thesis. I'm going to break it down here again here shortly, but pretty much Facebook, the earnings ended up being good. Their users grew. Everyone thought after the last time where the user numbers dropped, the fact that the user numbers went up, everyone's saying the death of Facebook. Well, just it didn't start this quarter. At least that's not what the numbers show. And then, even though Mr. Lizerberg keeps blowing the money there on all of the Oculus stuff in the metaverse, they cut expenses. That's a big deal because people were saying he has lofty ambitions, wants to spend all this money, but the fact that they lowered expenses and they made a little bit more money, it wasn't too bad. But the fact users didn't decline, it's like, okay, at least Mark Zuckerberg is building out these ambitions while his company is not dying on one end, and people like that a lot. So that's what drove it up there. Again, a lot of other earnings, even Qualcomm did good and guided up despite Texas Instruments. Ford, they guided or they kept their high guidance, and then that ended up being decent, but I really think how they're going to move is going to depend on, again, the excitement in the market and if people get calmed down after some of these earnings. But they did good. Pinterest killed it. They beat on EPS. People were surprised. Again, even Snapchat, Facebook, all those companies, they started rocketing up. PayPal did bad, but they somehow managed to go up here. Maybe it's just the overall sentiment, so we'll see. But again, the recap of the day, pretty much, we bounced at key levels, or we approached key levels, bounced up, and did nothing till earnings. And now the earnings were good. And where we go from here tomorrow, if we get Amazon and Apple doing good, that is going to be the rally until the Fed. Hopefully, we'll see what happens, but that was the breakdown. Again, there was crazy things, even with Beyond now. Here was one of the plays. I mean, we'll just get into the plays. I'm going to go over the Facebook ones too, but Beyond, this one was related to the news. We caught this one so early, like to the point by the time it got even reported on CNBC, it was already up like 200%, but Beyond, it came from like Fast Magazine. It's like a fast food QSR magazine. They do all the news related to these restaurants, but they came out and they said that the McPlant at McDonald's was going to become a permanent option and that McDonald's is pretty much partnering with them, but the stock went up. It got halted after 20%, and then shortly after, McDonald's came out and they said, well, that news isn't exactly true. Well, they didn't say, they just said it was misconstrued, and then the stock went down, got halted, premium still held up, and then pretty much there was a reiteration, and they said it is a promising, or I forgot the words. They said it's going to be, here, I had to look it up. They said it's going to be a core menu item, but get ready for this. They changed that, even Fast.com or Fast Company, and then they changed it to the McPlant burger is an opportunity. So it's not a permanent menu item. It's not a core menu item. It's an opportunity. So literally, we've seen stuff like this with Beyond, but the part that makes this interesting now, Beyond reports in a couple of days on May 6th. McDonald's is tomorrow. Maybe we'll see something, but that's why I kept the plays. And now here were the two plays that it was. I was going for the 75 contracts on June. They were at 20 cents. Somebody asked me, they're like, why did I go for these? Because pretty much it was the news. We were early. I said, this sounds kind of good. Again, they haven't had news in a while. Beyond was heavily shorted. I'm like, well, again, a permanent item at McDonald's, that's a pretty big deal. So reacting to that news, I wanted to get something cheap. I knew we were early on it, but I didn't know we were that early. But I went in and I saw one option at 20 cents to 75. I waited a little bit, and then right when I put my bid in, it got filled. Somebody took them. I was on the bid, so I was like, crap, and I started bidding on the 80 and 85. I didn't know I got filled, so I got double filled, ended up spending $40 there. I grabbed an 80 and an 85 contract, and then started going crazy. I sold the 85 contract for $80, so I bought it at 20, a quick 400% on that one, and then I held the other one. It went up as high to like $1.30, $1.40, came back up. It's actually still holding up 100%, but said I'll hold this one till earnings, and maybe we'll get momentum or a surprise or see what happens. But that one was a crazy one. That was a big play today. It wasn't the first. Now let's talk about the other ones, but before I go in order, I got to talk about Facebook like we've been talking about. Hopefully you didn't get confused. Yes, I said Facebook stock is going to crash. We were talking about the opportunity of both sides. If they were going to fail, they would go down, but I said it all day on stream. We even showed you the follow-up in the play with it. What we've been saying is that this is a pivotal earnings for Facebook, and it can move a lot, especially after that little fake news drop there. We were like, yeah, okay, it seems like a couple billion above guidance. It just has the ability to move the stock, and even then, the puts have already moved like 400% just leading into today. So we were saying there's an opportunity on both sides. Remember, we got the calls. Those are going to be up, and then we had the puts, but now here's what I did today. Those puts, remember I showed you these leap puts that I was holding, bought these like a year and a half ago. I thought this tech stuff was going to happen, and I was wrong on it because I was 1 year early. I even had a Google puts, a big play was like 10,000 bucks. It expired worthless. Had another $5,000 on these plays. Got a little bit more time. Thankfully, this one held up, but pretty much it was up around like 70-80% today. I sold out 5 of the 10 at like $975. Pretty much got like $4,800 back. I spent $5,000 or $5,900 for all of them. Got most of all of my money back. Cut the put position, but still get to hold it. Again, it still has a year of time. And then I've just held the play from yesterday. We bought this one yesterday, the Facebook 217. We said it could move a lot. And again, if there was upside, that will be the good. And I had the old Julys. We'll see see how that plays out. But pretty much tomorrow, gonna be riding these through. Still gonna be holding the puts. And now, depending on how it plays out, I think we might get an opportunity for a big continuation. It depends on the attitude of the market. And then after Apple and Amazon, if they do good, then that's it. It's all hands on deck. You're gonna get a short little rally. But even then, I think Facebook tomorrow is gonna be a good one. But this is how we played it. We'll see. I think the 217s, they'll probably go up like 200 to 400%. It really just depends on the momentum and where we open at. I wouldn't doubt that will go higher than there. So there was that. As far as every other play, let me get this stream alerts. Where is it? All right, we're gonna go in order here. So right off the morning, I should have held this one longer. Remember, even then, if we held the other ones, and if you did hold them, God bless you. You made a lot on these. Maybe you forgot and then you woke up to it. You're like, what? But anyways, Boeing, I sold out of the final one, got 100% on that. Remember, we trimmed a little bit yesterday. I just didn't like the time, but Boeing earnings were awful and it kept going down. I got 550 for it, 100%. Then the MasterCard, because of Visa, remember, that was the second play that we made on the MasterCard pre-earnings. That one had like another 100% on it. Got rid of that one at 550. They report, I think, tomorrow morning. Again, McDonald's is tomorrow morning too with BYND. And then you remember yesterday, hopefully you're watching the watch list. Again, Russia gas ban, the UNG, we went a little big. And like I said, I thought I went a little too big. We hit it right on the head. We ended up getting rewarded. They were up initially like 30%, ended up going 60, but I sold 10 out of 15 for $1.20. I think that was about like 40% is what I got net profit on that one. Got 5 of those for free now. I kept the weeklies and we have the other ones, but pretty much the play is now majorly free. So that one was good. Got a little bit of time, but that one was on the money. Then we got the Texas. Pretty much they were down 10% yesterday. They bounced up. I said maybe post continuation, get a little time. I grabbed 2 of the May 135 puts and I grabbed these at 65 cents, $1.20. They didn't really do too good. Texas kept going up. Then I grabbed a Boeing June 190 call for 93 cents. It was $100, but pretty much right when the CFO started speaking, they were already down like 10, 11, 12%. So I said, maybe it turns around and calms down, and depending on the earnings, got a call there for $1, the 190. That was decent. Then Medtronics, they got FDA. They banned like one of their products or gave a warning. I thought it would get clapped. I spent May 20th, 99 put for 101. Didn't really do too well. And then I sold out of the EWJ puts. If you remember those were up 200%. I figured I'd get out. May 20th is kind of keeping me nervous. All it takes is one bounce. Again, there's been a lot of volatility lately, so got out of that. Then I sold half of those Facebooks like we said. Then we made the BYND, and then we contemplated the Hershey's, the Domino's, and the Qualcomm. Ended up holding that Qualcomm. We'll see how that plays up. It was up 100% at one point throughout the day. Closed up around like 30%, I believe. So we'll see where it is, but those are everything. As far as tomorrow, just going to be watching the earnings. Again, a lot of big ones pre-market. I still got the Caterpillars, but they report tomorrow. MasterCard, McDonald's, Merck, Overstock, Eli Lilly, Domino's, TMO, Altria, Sony, Hershey's, Virtue, IRM. So I think we're going to get a big focus on Facebook tomorrow, and then preparing for Amazon and Apple, maybe X too, because they're steel, and we got a little bit of news related to that in commodities. So we'll see what happens, but super simple. It's already exciting. Again, you're seeing what a little bit amount of money could do in this season. We're getting our opportunities, but now keep your head in the game for the longer term. And honestly, if you made it this far, I wanted to throw this in. I didn't even know this video was running this long already, but it's simple. We got to play defensive. If you haven't got the news right now, pretty much it all depends on these next 2 earnings. It could buy us some time, but the whole idea is people are going to get ready for the Fed. If Europe, China, and other things deteriorate, then that's the short scenario. Otherwise, we'll see the more longer dated short scenario. But point is, this is going to be an opportunity. This could clear some of the volatility. You're in the middle of peak volatility, and we are having a lot of opportunities, but you play it small and tread lightly, and you see what's there. But we'll talk about this more tomorrow. I love you, Chad, again. God bless all you who've been positive and just in the game, and hopefully you're having as much fun as I am. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure Andre Healthy ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. And you heard the positive message. I need you to have determination. I need you to wake up with energy. Be determined. Nothing can stop you if you're determined. There's not enough determined people. Let's go, Chad. But I love you. I'll see you in the morning. Goodbye. Have a wonderful evening. Peace out. Amen.